So I figured that, let me scratch my ear real quick. I figured that this would be the best spot to shoot a video because I'm out in the middle of nature, not on the roads. This journey has been so freaking epic, and I'm on like day, I don't even know what's today. I think I'm on day 49. So tomorrow's gonna be day 50. I can't believe I've been on the road for 50 days. It's so crazy. I've met just honestly the most amazing people. People keep asking me, met any weirdos? You had any crazy experiences? Honestly, I haven't met a bunch of weirdos. I've met just pretty much amazing people who want to help me out, who really are getting behind what I'm doing, raising money for homeless vets. But even before I had made that my whole mission, people were just super stoked to meet me. Because of just walking across America. They're like, that's awesome, that's amazing, that's so inspiring just in and of itself. And sometimes I forget that. It's easy for me to be like, to forget that not everybody can do this. And part of the reason I started doing this was because not everybody can do this. Like people who literally aren't here anymore, like my brother Dietrich, my dad, who I know would have been super down. And they can't do it, but it's still weird that sometimes I think like, oh, anybody could do this, anybody would want to do this, but it's definitely not a thing for everyone. Hi. There's a bicyclist because I'm on the Panhandle Trail where people ride bikes. I've got another one coming up here in a couple minutes. But I don't meet weird people. I meet awesome people. I meet amazing people. I meet helpful people. I meet people who want to help make the world a better place. And that is so amazing and touching. And I meet, I just meet awesome people. And the only time I ever really get frustrated out here is when I'm on the road and there's no shoulder, there's no sidewalk, and I'm literally like dodging cars and hoping that I don't get hit. That's pretty much the only time I really ever get upset out here. Other than that, I just enjoy it and I love it because I get to do what I love every day. I get to walk. I get to walk every day. Walking is so good for you. Even though my body's sore, my feet hurt, and everything is that was another bicyclist. Everything is in pain. I wouldn't trade this for anything because I'm outside every day. Walking has been shown to improve your mental health. It releases endorphins. It does all of these amazing things. So even though I'm sore, I get to do what I love every day, and I get to raise money for homeless vets, which homelessness is huge. Something that I'm always trying to help with, and people who are homeless and who don't have food. I met this dude Peter a couple days ago who had a master's degree, and he had a drinking problem, and it cost him his job. And then he was married, and he and his wife were not getting along, as she was not being faithful from what he told me. You know, obviously I'm taking it at his word. He seemed sober to me, seemed like he'd been sober. He worked for his wife's father's company, so he lost his job and didn't have a home. And his mom couldn't take him in because she's in a retirement community, and his father couldn't take him in because he just doesn't have the resources. And his son passed away, and that's just like, so heavy. I can't even imagine going through that. I don't think a lot of us can. And I think it's so easy to see a homeless person and say, oh, well, why don't you just get a job? All right, well, that's great to just go get a job, but to have a job, you need to have an ID. And to have an ID, you need to have an address. And to have an address, you need to have a job and money to pay for that. And you need to be able to shower, and you need to be able to have somewhere for your paychecks to be sent. So it just becomes this whole catch-22. So just think about that next time you see a homeless person. You're like, well, why don't you just go get a job? Well, why don't you just go take them down to the office and help them get that job? You know, it's like, you know, don't get so caught up in thinking that they're just there because they're lazy. That's generally not the case. You know, my buddy did a documentary a while back, and you heard so many stories in the documentary of people who had jobs but the rent went up and the job pay did not go up. And so they lost their homes. People who lose limbs or who experience a sickness or are helping out a family member, and then they don't have enough money, and then they lose their home because they can't pay for it, and then they're homeless. You know, there's so many ways to be homeless. It's not just, it's not just a bunch of bad people who are out there being homeless. There's a lot of mental illness out there. And mental illness is like a real crazy thing. I've been experiencing it a lot with my brother, my brothers, actually. It's gnarly. It's gnarly what it does to people. And it's not just there's not just a pill. Like people are like, well, just take medicine. It doesn't work like that. Or just talk about it. It doesn't work like that. There's so many layers. Like, think about you if you're watching this and you consider yourself pretty mentally stable, and think about how difficult life can be sometimes. And then go ahead and throw mental illness on top of that. And it's just like a whole nother level. And those are the people who are homeless. And those are the people that we're trying to help, especially vets who are suffering from PTSD and who knows what from going off to serve this country and help protect our freedom. You know, whether you believe in the wars that are going on or not, they volunteered to serve this country and protect us and got super jacked up. So that's what we're doing out here. That's what we're trying to help. I've experienced so much help and so much love, and the universe is just like opening its doors to me. You know, there's a saying that I heard, and it goes something like, when you're doing what's in alignment with who you are, the universe literally conspires to lift you up and make it happen. And I definitely feel like the universe is conspiring to help me walk across America and raise money for homeless vets and help as many people as I can along the way in whatever way I can, and in return receive so much help and love and kindness. And it's just the most beautiful thing, and I had to shoot this video and share that with you all. Own your gangster, you know, follow your heart. Don't let people tell you what you're doing is wrong. If it feels right here, then you got to do it, you know? And it's not that life is short, it's that it could be over tomorrow. Remember that. It could be over tomorrow. Do you really want to live your life? Do you really want to die on your way to some job you hate or something you don't like? Probably not. And if that's where you're at, then do whatever you need to do to change it up. It'll be all right. The universe will conspire to help you. It will. It will. Believe in that.